Joyous time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today we are talking tea, both in this book and also with a marvelous and fantastic Spence. All right. Good morning to Katerina. Well, I was going to have a block, but best go make it Lahal caffeine. Good morning, Christina. My brain is a little scattered, so trying to bring it all down. Normally I would do the grounding meditation. I am of a mind to, I don't know, maybe I could use it. Geez. Sorry, my phone is like blowing up. All right. If we haven't met before, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. It is very nice to meet you. If you have been here before, it is so lovely to see you back. I freaking love you guys. I'd like to start this morning with a grounding ritual to start your day. This starts near your domain, so if you've not created a domain, you might want to sign up for my newsletter, which is linked below. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. And as you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take another deep breath in. A third deep breath in, And as you do so, imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. It enters at the top of your head and spreads down over your face, your neck, your shoulders. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow of soothing energy entering from your head and passing out through the arches of your feet. You are just outside the door of your domain. The air is crisp and cool, the evergreens sway slightly in the breeze, and the ground has a large patch of moss at your feet. Step barefoot onto the moss. Feel how soft it is. Feel the solid ground underneath. That light coming into your head can now be translated into energy that you can send out your feet. Convert the light into roots and send the roots out the bottoms of your feet and deep into the earth, as deep as you can. The soil is fresh, easy to toil, easy to carve a path down. Feel how anchored you are, how close to the earth. Reach as far down as you can. The earth hugs your roots comfortably, no matter how sharp or curly, no matter how many times they split off. Slowly pull the roots back up the way they came. Your roots slither through the dark, the soil filling in its wake. Pull the roots back into your feet, convert it back to the light, and let the light filter through you and out the top of your head. Take one more deep breath in and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes.
I was at the edge to stretch after that.
Yeah, no kidding. Welcome. If you are just joining us, we just did our morning grounding ritual. If you are interested in more meditations like this one, but maybe a bit more exploratory, you might want to look at subscribing to my Patreon, where I will be releasing 2 a month to help you on your supernatural journey. Until then, you can join me for coffee in the mornings here on YouTube. Oh my gosh. We got a Christina, we got a Katerina, we got a Raven who should be sleeping at the moment. Maybe the medicinal teas that we're going to talk about today might be of help. Good morning, Moon Bunny Creative. It's so awesome to see you, Sage. Good teas for lady cramps. There are a lot of those. Absolutely. Also, raspberry and ginger. Turmeric tea will knock you on your ass. So there are other ways that you can ingest turmeric to help with the things.
I just put turmeric in literally everything I cook.
Yeah.
One moment.
All right. Let us see what the self card is today. Oh my gosh. Fighting me today. All right. Death. Which is cool because I hadn't seen the death part of this stuff yet. No, you're not going to die. That's just a common misconception of the death card. Death indicates an end of an aspect of your life, which can range from a job to a relationship. Death must occur in order for you to have a new beginning, shifting you forward into a transition period of rebirth and renewal. The cycle of death is quite natural, and can be seen in nature transforming throughout the different seasons. Like nature, you are also going through a transformation that will be of great significance. Change is coming, sweeping the past to the side so that you can embrace the opportunities of the future. Clear the clutter and let go of what is not serving you in order to make room for the new life. When one door closes, another opens. There is no life without death. Right on, I need all the help I can get today. My house needs cleaned and my body is telling me to F itself. Oh. Can't sleep, fever broke down my emotional dams. Lots of crying in my future. Might as well do it among friends. Oh, babe. B12 if you have it. Vitamin D.
Be careful with B12 and like the good B complex because I can't take those at all.
Oh, yeah?
They will trigger an like anxiety attack for the rest of the day, and I'll just be.
Oh, sure.
I'll go from being like reasonable to like baby deer levels of anxiety.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's the worst day was I mistook it for one of my other vitamins because Mr. Spence takes them. So I just like had him hand me two because I thought he was taking the other daily vitamin we took.
Right.
And I was like, oh no. 30 minutes later, I was like, why am I not okay?
Why am I not okay?
And he's like, well, you asked for two of the B12s. And I was like, oh no.
Oh no. Well, that is something to consider. It helps Katerina, but
It helps my husband quite a lot. It's just a thing you need to like be aware. If you haven't done it before, it could make you go too much in one direction.
yeah. So what direction do we go? Let's see. Drinking a special blend of tea before you start your meditation can help you focus. Like the previous tips, the simple act of having a cup of tea when you prepare to meditate is a helpful shortcut, especially if you use the same cup and same blend of tea each time. Apart from that, the warmth is relaxing, and the drinking of tea can be a meditation all of its own. As noted in Chapter 3, please research any herbs you intend to ingest in any form to make sure they aren't contraindicated, in combination with any medications you are currently taking or with any physical condition you might have. It's case in point, the B12 or the St. John's wort or melatonin or whatever. Here are some suggested tea blends for you to explore. You can use herbs and spices from your cupboard or garden, or you can buy small quantities of them in an herb shop or grocery. Use commercial tea bags if that's what you've got. There's no rule against opening a peppermint tea bag and a chamomile tea bag and mixing the contents together, then using half for 1 cup and half for a later cup. How to brew. The following meditation teas, which we'll get into, I'd rather talk to Spence about her teas here instead. The following tea blends will brew 1 cup of tea. The basic proportion for these blends is the given amount of ingredients to 1 cup of boiling water unless otherwise specified. Allow the tea to steep for up to 5 minutes, then remove the tea from the infusion. If you're using loose tea blends, put them in a tea infuser or a tea ball. If you don't have either of these, put the ingredients in the bottom of a teapot or a cup, steep the tea, then pour the infusion through a strainer into a fresh cup, like the French press sort of system. Compost the herbs when you are done. Remember, these are guidelines. Try each blend as written first, then play around with the amounts next time. Take notes in your self-care journal. Taurine like messes with me real bad. Like any energy drink that's got like Splenda and taurine and stuff in it, I can't do it. My Earl Grey winter white tea is steeping. That sounds wonderful. All right, Spence.
So my teas aren't really the teas I have had cause to make and like cultivated these recipes aren't for chilling out with really, aside from like the stomachache tea is kind of a gentle mellow tea.
Mm-hmm.
And then the I have the last ditch effort, proceed at your own risk tea.
Oh.
That you could as easily make a soup with instead of a tea, but the stuff I think works better with tea.
Mm-hmm.
I put pictures of my little recipes in the Discord if people are curious. But for a stomach ache, what I usually do for my friends is I'll do a bag of like regular Earl Grey and a pinch of cinnamon and 2 pinches of ginger.
Sure.
If I don't feel like using powdered ginger for whatever reason, my powdered ginger tends to either go very quickly or go bad very quickly. Like just it loses its potency. For teas, I like to use fresh ginger or the squeezy bottle ginger. And when you use fresh ginger or fresh garlic in your teas, I boil it with the water.
Okay.
And then depending on your tolerance for texture, I'll strain it out before I make the tea.
Sure.
And then just to squeeze a lemon. And you let that steep for about 3 minutes and you sip at that. That one you do like very slowly and very easily.
That sounds like it would be good for, say, Christina's cramps.
Mm-hmm. For her, I would suggest a little bit of turmeric in it too, but then you could add like maybe a little brown sugar to offset it.
Okay. It never occurred to me that you could do that.
Mm-hmm. Brown sugar is really good because it's just regular sugar with molasses in it. Mm-hmm. So it's almost kind of like using honey.
Yeah.
And you could use straight molasses. It's just straight molasses is incredibly bitter. Compared to sugar.
Compared to sugar, yeah. One of my favorite places to eat offers a sweetened tea, and it's black tea with molasses in it.
Mm-hmm.
Has the sweetener, and oh my god, it's so good.
Compared to sugar, it's really bitter. So like for a quick tea, like this tea is, I'd be more inclined to use just brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
But molasses has a wonderful, wonderful flavor.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And then my last ditch effort tea. I don't tell my friends what I'm putting in it when I make it because they get scared.
Oh, okay.
Some of my friends get scared. I have like 1 or 2 friends who have very high spice tolerances, and one who has a deviated septum, and he like loves watching me make. He's like, "Well, this is gonna be so good." But my friends. None of my friends have insurance, so I call it the last ditch effort because when there's like a sinus infection or even like an ear infection, anything with the face or the respiratory system, this is the last thing they do before they admit they have to go see a doctor.
Okay.
Because it is not a replacement for a doctor, but it could be.
But it could be, yeah.
And it is a painful experience. Last time I made one for my friend, he drank it the night before. He knew he had a day off the next day. And the way he tells the story was he followed my instructions. He drank it. He passed out at 8 p.m., woke up at 11 a.m. the next day, sneezed or coughed and sneezed up like just this black old ball of goo.
Oh.
Had sweat so much he had to change his sheets, and he felt slimy, he said. Mm-hmm. But he sneezed and coughed it all out, took a shower, changed his sheets, went back to sleep for another 4 hours, woke up, and had not felt so good in weeks.
Wow, so like a hella detox tea.
Yeah, it's a forceful experience.
Now I'm curious, like, what is your secret ingredient that forces your body to eject whatever infection it's got?
A lot of capsaicin.
Ah, gotcha.
This makes a pot of tea.
Mm-hmm.
So when I don't have my pot currently because it is with my friend, because what I'll do is I'll put it together in the pot and they just add the boiling water. So it's a bag of Irish breakfast tea,
Okay.
a bag of green tea with orange. I think Lipton makes that one.
Okay.
A scoop of red or white miso.
Okay.
A scoop of or 2 or 3 of gochujang.
Of what?
Gochujang.
Gochujang. So that's your capsaicin.
It's a significant part of it. It's a fermented like red pepper paste. It's delicious and it is spicy as everything. It is. I live in the middle of BFE nowhere, and like I don't even have an Asian food store. I have half an aisle in the Kroger, and they have it there. So hopefully, if not, it's definitely something you can order on Amazon. And it lasts forever. I bought the first one I got for my husband last year for his birthday. And it literally lasted a whole year.
I believe that.
Then I use garlic. I'll either use, if I use like fresh garlic, I love using fresh garlic for this. I will like pound it up and put it in the tea.
Okay.
But if it's a thing I'm sending to a friend instead of preparing the pot, I'll use a lot more granulated or powdered garlic, along with like at least 1 clove or teaspoon of minced garlic. Again, turmeric, I'll just go by
Oh, okay, sure.
It's like
Season to taste, as it were.
Yeah. Then I like white pepper for it instead of black pepper. I think white pepper is a little bit, I want to say sharper, but that's not a food word. So make it and more ginger. Then I'll either use some cayenne pepper or I will pound up some red pepper flakes.
Sure.
I mean, depending on, tolerance to texture.
Sure.
And then just a crap ton of cinnamon and like a whole lemon's worth of juice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll knock you on your ass.
And then you can add like a little bit of brown sugar, or you have like a cookie afterwards as a treat to like get all of that out. But that is something you consume like as fast as you are comfortable with. Just get it inside you and then go to bed.
And then you go to bed. Okay. I should write this shit down.
I did post my little notepad cards in the Discord.
Oh, did you?
Everybody who wanted to reference it in their own time.
I think I have a section in here for teas and baths.
And yes, the last ditch you could reasonably make like a miso soup out of, but I think the tea gives it a bit of a boost.
Of course, I don't have my pens, but it's fine. It's fine. Or maybe I should use my book of mirrors. All right. So gochujang is the lion's share of the recipe.
Yeah. It does the lion's share of the work.
Because
I'll do maybe a teaspoon of it or 2, depending on the severity of
the illness, right? Ginger, maybe fresh.
Yeah, for this one, I think for the garlic and the ginger, fresh is better.
Okay.
But it can be substituted with powdered, depending, and you just have to adjust the volume based on severity and potency and
right. So gochujang, cinnamon, ginger, garlic,
miso,
turmeric, and miso. Yeah, you said red miso, right?
Red or white.
Okay.
I prefer red. just because it's a better flavor, but white miso is more widely available. And it works about the same.
Okay. And that's that, right? Gochujang, cinnamon, ginger, garlic, turmeric, miso.
Lemon juice, a straight pepper.
Oh, right, the white pepper.
And then I use green tea with orange and Irish breakfast.
Irish breakfast. Green with orange. That will handle what ails you.
Sometimes I'll add one of these immunity boosting ones, but they were a gift from a friend, so I don't know where.
It says probiotics and stuff?
Yeah, it is. It's one of the ones that just lives in the jar of tea collection.
Oh.
Like I even have some like unidentified ones in here.
Yeah.
I'm out of my green tea with orange. I'll have to pick some of that up.
You said Lipton makes that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jace, I think that is up to your ability to tolerate it. I suggest not doing it on an empty stomach.
I would not do it on an empty stomach, not with that gochujang in it.
And
the turmeric, for that matter. Like you probably want.
Flu, you could do on an empty stomach because you're not feeling well, but that is also like because you're sipping it with like crackers.
Yeah. Wow, crazy. Last ditch effort.
Because, and it's either thing, like if you like spicy stuff, it will be amazing and delicious to you. I've had friends request me make it when they're not ill because it's tasty to them.
Oh.
And my friend who actually requested the most hates it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also the friend that like sneezed black afterwards and then was like, I have all of my power back.
Right. That's amazing. I will have to remember that.
And the proportions and stuff is all something that you adjust based on like how well you know your spices and how well you know how sick you are and what's going to make you feel better. Like with the stomachache tea, I do want to make a point. Do not use just like pumpkin spice instead.
Oh yeah.
Because for this one you need to control how much ginger and cinnamon you're using, and the nutmeg and clove will not be acetylene.
No, it will not.
And if you're like me and I make my own pumpkin spice mix, there is actually red pepper in mine, which not good for stomach aches.
Not good for stomach aches. So the ginger, cinnamon, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, and lemon juice.
And lemon juice.
And that's more just the patience and proportion of how it works.
Does it have a base, like a black tea base or anything like that?
Yeah, Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
Or Irish breakfast. It works really good too. That's my like Earl Grey and Irish breakfast are like my standard bases.
Okay. Or Irish breakfast.
I work a lot with spices rather than herbs. I'm not a big fan of my herb. Like, I have not come to an understanding with the herbs like I have with my spice jars.
Oh, I gotcha. Herbs have their place for sure. Mm-hmm. And I think fresh is way better than dried. I feel like with dried, you need to use more of it.
And it changes the nature of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, speaking of herbs, I'm gonna show off.
Oh, okay.
Are you sprouting roots yet? Very teeny tiny ones that have not literally left. My mom pulled her sage plant.
Oh, look how tiny and cute.
And put it in a really tiny pot. And when I went over the other day, she cut some off for me. And
are they already?
They have, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but they have like the tiniest little roots in there.
Oh, yay.
Infinite sage.
Infinite sage.
I'm really impressed with how well my rosemary did because it was like hardened rosemary.
Well, the upside is rosemary is a pretty resilient plant.
Hers is still sitting outside. They live in a little cottage with heated floors that are heated like a foot out from the house.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like the sage plant, her rosemary is just tucked up against the house. And it's still green and seems to be going.
That's really interesting.
My mom is a freaking whiz with plants.
Very cool. So this, it looks like a lot of their bases are green tea, which is, probably my go-to as well. Can you guys help me keep my herbs alive? Not if you're like keeping an aloe plant in the closet for 3 months. Come on, man. You gotta do it in a window or something. I wanted to grow lavender inside, but it's outdoor only. I would recommend outdoor only.
Outdoor only is best, but I've definitely grown lavender inside.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep. The issue is one of my friends was doing it, and she had it in this giant pot and set in a spot where like the cats weren't getting at it, and I don't know if she had her dog at this point yet, but the dog couldn't get at it. But she never rotated it, so it literally grew like
lopsided.
Yeah, like it grew towards the sun. It was wild.
They will grow towards the sun. Yeah.
So we had to like systematically like rotate it like 10 degrees once a week until it was.
The jade does that too. It'll crawl towards water if it needs water, and if it will crawl towards the sun otherwise. So my jade plant is like the master branches lean one way, and then all the little sub branches are leaning the other way. I'm hanging out with the dog outside. I was going in, but she wants to see if any friends will come out to play. I've been watching on my phone. That's awesome. Already do that for my begonia. Oh. Killed my aloe on accident. My house doesn't have good windows, so it was struggling to get enough sun, and I left it outside overnight on accident, and it froze. Yep. Yeah, it needs sun. Even if it's in direct light.
Yeah, I'm pretty amazed that my plants have done as well as they have, because the windows I have that have good sun are also like the most high traffic. So I can't like put a plant stand in the hallway that's this wide.
Right.
So I've got my kitchen windows. I have a window right there and right there that are just littered with tiny little pots of succulents, like trying to press themselves to the glass.
Like to the glass, yeah.
I have one that I nearly killed once because I went on a like window cleaning tirade because there was a ton of flies in my kitchen this one year. And so I just like, I got really aggressive one day with my Windex and just like, and then I put it back and it pressed itself to the thing and all the petals fell off.
Oh, no.
But it survived. It made it. It was a very sad looking plant for so long.
Oh, yeah, poisoning your plants, no bueno.
Yeah. I don't know how it survived, but it did. It just got graduated to a new pot before winter proper set in, so it's even like doubling now.
So this lady is really big on chamomile, which I cannot do. Which I discovered the hard way that if you have a ragweed allergy, you're going to have a reaction to the chamomile as well. There's a pure chamomile tea. Yeah, if you are allergic to ragweed, a straight chamomile tea may elicit similar symptoms. If so, don't drink chamomile tea very often. Try to use it in combination with other herbs. My stuff doesn't care. Like,
yeah, if you're having a reaction to a tea, you're not going to get any benefits out of it.
You're not going to get any benefit. There's tea and rosebud or rose petal. There's chamomile and mint.
I love mint. I have a mint oil that I like if I'm having a headache day that's not necessarily sinuses. Like I have a little teeny tiny bottle of mint candy flavoring.
Oh.
Because I'll just like dab some on my hand and lick it and then boom.
Yeah. That'll wake you up.
It'll wake you up and wake you good. And please don't eat essential oils, people.
Yeah, don't. It's not an essential oil.
It's very specifically a candy flavoring, which means it's supposed to be eaten. Do not make essential oil teas.
Yes.
What the essential oil people tell you, don't do it.
Don't do it. They are not ingestible. So if you're going to make a rose tea, please don't use rose essential oil. Just use the rose. Especially with flower teas.
And with the rose stuff too, try to grow your own roses.
Yeah.
Or because the roses that you buy in the florist shop or at the store for display have chemicals on them that you're not supposed to eat.
Yeah.
So either like it's like steep them twice maybe if you're desperate, but please don't. Just don't eat things that aren't supposed to be eaten. That is my PSA.
I think I'm going to make some tea because I am in the mood. And maybe you can help me pick a teapot.
Oh no, don't. I have a teapot collection.
I do too.
Like this was my favorite one. My mom got it for me for Christmas last year.
Cute.
And then I have 2 silver teapots that are currently packed away.
Yeah.
Just I shuffle through some of my stuff that gets to be out every season. I do have the Mickey one. Are you out in handy?
A Mickey one?
My brother-in-law's grandma was Japanese.
Oh, nice.
And I loved her a lot. She was a really cool lady. And I ended up with her tea sets. And her teapot is at the very top of a shelf that is buried at the moment. So. And then I have 2 others I've just picked up from the Salvation Army that you can be given as gifts.
Hello, kitty. Should do it. Air freshener. You can put some of them on your skin. You can anoint certain objects with certain oils.
My sister uses them to make a bug spray.
I have a friend who does the same.
And my sister has 2 different.
Hellscape.
I am streaming, sir.
I am streaming, sir.
She can still a frozen house.
Yeah, she does 2 because she does one that's for adults and one that's for kids under 6 because they're really sensitive to some of the ones she puts in her others.
Mm-hmm.
So she limits it to like under 6 because they're the most expensive ones.
Right.
You want to come say hi?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, he opened the
I did not realize that was.
It barely doesn't clear it.
Sorry.
Whew. That was exciting. In a kind of way.
Oh, I didn't realize this was going to be so loud. Hold on. We'll come out here. Rose water is great for rose in food in the Mexican or in the Greek section as well.
I have not found that in my grocery store.
It's not at my grocery store, but if I go to like a halal shop or a Mediterranean shop, then it's going to be there, and it's going to be cheap.
We don't have anything like that.
I'm very lucky in that I am in a very diverse city kind of area, so. I don't know what I want. I think I'm gonna do a blood orange. Or maybe I'll mix this. I think it's a orange chai that a friend gave me.
I taught them how to make the tea of doom. Did I miss anything?
Oh, here we go. I forgot I had this like magic spoon. I'm gonna use my magic spoon. I also have a detox tea. That would probably be helpful. Oh, I need a tea ball.
Yeah, I used to live in Ann Arbor, Jace, and that was really fun. I liked having different shops there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get to live in Ann Arbor now.
Oh. I loved Ann Arbor. Granted, it's been like almost 20 years since I was last there, but
Will you close the cereal before you put it up?
What are you doing?
All I gotta say is gin is horrible.
Yeah, Mr. Spence is pretty hungover this morning. It's quite funny.
Not hungover. Slow.
I'm just going to rip open these bags and throw it in. It's a very fine tea, so I'm worried about it hanging out in my tea ball.
If you don't like the quality of the chamomile that you bought, even though, like, because cheap is still good. But what we could do to be extra about it is you could toast the leaves ever so slightly before you brew your tea. Like, you open the bag and put it in a dry pan.
Oh, yeah?
On like a medium heat until you can start to smell it. And then you put it in your steeper diffuser thing and then do it. And it just...
It's the same behind toasting things before adding them to a dish.
Yeah, that's why I suggest.
What's going on? I forgot there was a comment I started. I recently bought a ton of chamomile, so I'm good for a while on that cheap stuff, but oh well.
Yeah, toasting it is a great way to like just elevate it ever so slightly.
Yeah. I need to send you a care package, Spence. I'm a Buckeye Boo Blue. Not into the rivalry. Screw that. Put away my things. Also, I wanted to show off my cup and saucer, which promotes peace, inner peace.
This one's mine. This is my only like fancy cup that's out.
It's adorable. I like the saucer too.
It's in China, like actually made in England. It's one of the antiques I collect.
Nice.
Because
I guess I should set a timer. Right. So, I have been, if I'm going for a healing thing, I've got a couple of, here, you're coming with me. I've got a couple of teas for a minute. Yeah. The ginger aid is good for digestion. I've got Breathe Easy. So the traditional medicine, they are super effective if you ever are in the need for such things.
Yes, like if you needed to make the like last ditch effort tea, I'd just go with your like Breathe Easy one as your base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like to do the Earl Grey and Irish breakfast as my base most of the time because they are so common.
I also have like these turmeric things for golden tea or golden milk.
Ooh, I wanted to try one of those, but I am scared.
It's turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, vanilla, and black pepper with monk fruit. And it's the monk fruit that gets me. But it's, and if you stick it in lemonade, like.
Mr. Spence made a noise like, oh, that sounds so good.
And then I've got a boatload of green tea, sencha kyoto. I've got a detox tea, which is rooibos, vanilla, almond, chicory, caffeine free. I thought there was something else in here that was kicking my ass. Oh, the milk thistle, yeah. So it says a gentle herb blend, but I don't think it's all that gentle.
I know you're awesome.
Organic rooibos, milk thistle, dandelion, burdock root, sarsaparilla, clover. Yeah, so that's another like melt your face, poop out all the things sort of tea.
I need 45 more minutes to hit the 8-hour mark.
Mr. Spence has been streaming every night, so apparently he only needs 45 more minutes of streaming to hit that 8-hour mark, which I don't know what that means.
That means that he can become an affiliate, which means that he can get points and distribute them, and people can cash in points for rewards that will, make the person like do things.
And Nightbot.
What is going on? Indoctrinate you from birth. My blank has ballerinas on it. The traditional medicinal does work, but it's definitely medicine tasting. Yeah.
Because you have to have like so many followers. I'm not close to that.
Yeah. You've only got 9 followers so far? Or did it go up?
Maybe I should sit down.
We have a section on coffee.
We can totally talk about coffee.
I was wondering if the book acknowledged it even.
I don't think the book acknowledges it, but I do a lot of coffee magic myself.
And we have quite a growing collection of coffee. Bring it over, honey. Bring me the coffee.
Coffee's good for a lot of stuff. Mostly involving sleep, oddly enough. But are you ready for lunch? Is that what all this is? It's a little early for lunch, my love.
Who sent us this?
Camille.
Camille.
Yeah. It's up to something.
Which is funny because I'm sitting down to tea and then it's like, let's talk about coffee.
I don't like coffee, but I love the way it smells. Like that. This is wow, it's so dark.
It's so dark.
Back from our local like music/coffee shop.
You want me?
Called the Jimi Hendrix, and it just smells so good.
I have a handful of teas that are coffees rather, that are okay. I haven't found one that really melts my face off besides the Paul Newman. Paul Newman organic coffee is like my go-to.
Now, which one is your go-to, honey? Which do you prefer to have in the morning? The Ready Player One?
Irish creamer, the Jimi Hendrix.
This is an experimental one that Camille Myrick sent us. We're supposed to be pen pals, and I suck at sending mail. I need to fix that.
Oh my god. Okay.
But this is apparently Mr. Spence's go-to. It is Player One Coffee Lab Irish Cream.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
And it's a very dark bean.
It's white roast.
It's a dark bean.
I know. White roast means more caffeine, though.
And then we have the Checker Records custom blend, the Jimi Hendrix. This is the one I like to just stick my face in because it's a caramel and blackberry coffee. I don't know.
Wow, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm sure it smells delightful. However, the taste, the flavors, I would think would clash.
I usually get it at the store with like white chocolate instead of caramel.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Because in my mind it clashes a bit, but it's what they sell in bean form. So
Yeah, it's like they're just trying to get like as artisanal as possible without actually taking into consideration the combination of flavors.
That's a pretty popular one.
most of them are like kind of spot on.
Oh yeah?
And they've
Yeah.
got one that's like comfortably numb that will actually numb your mouth a bit.
And then there's Ozzy Osbourne's is really popular too, and
That's chocolate. Chocolate's popular.
the teddy bear.
Yeah.
Chocolate teas weird me out.
Yeah.
Chocolate coffee has its place.
In the morning, frozen and blended and huge. That's it.
Then I could see it.
Fun to check records.
Absolutely.
Those are cold.
Yeah, and nobody going no place today.
Yeah, I might skip my walk tonight.
The roads are horrible.
I feel like I should wait a couple days, or at least one more day before I go walking again, so I don't fall in front of people again. I did that last night.
Oh no.
Like I went for a walk and was working my way home. I had not seen another living soul the entire time I'm out there until I fall, and then like 3 cars pass me as I'm falling. I'm like,
Cool.
really?
Cool.
Now? Could have been like 2 minutes ago. It could have been like
Couldn't have been 2 minutes ago when there were no cars.
there were no cars, nobody. Had to be the only time I saw anybody else, and there's 4 of them. Like 3 cars, 4 people. Huh.
So if you do ancestor work, then coffee would be your go-to offering. Yeah, the chocolate in tea is. I'm not a fan.
Coffee is one of those things you would use to summon me in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep any of it in bean form?
All of it except the.
This is the only one that is not.
But it came that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's pre-ground.
Yep. Everything else is we use our spice/coffee grinder.
Right on. Because most of the magical implications are either in liquid form or in bean form.
And just grinding it, you are letting it start to lose its potency right away.
Right, exactly. You're going to get a higher quality cup.
Mm-hmm. With less effort. Because like this, like a ground Folgers thing, I think if you did the same thing of just like toasting it ever so slightly before you make your cup, you'll get some good out of it.
Provided it's not already pre-roasted.
Yeah. Well, even then, like depending on how old it is, like if you just crack the seal, don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like I've had this thing of coffee for a month. 10 seconds on a hot stove to get it going to like start to bloom it.
Mm-hmm. That's something I'll have to consider. I have one bag of bean coffee that I reserve for magic stuff. Mostly in like satchels, and I sprinkle it on my altar to like have my invokings particularly hop to it. The liquid stuff, you can add all kinds of like groovy stuff to your coffee to make it a little more magical. Funny enough, I like, instead of using pumpkin spice, I like to use the involved spices in order to be able to tell how much of it I want in my tea. Like I have one that's ginger, nutmeg, clove, and cinnamon. And that goes into my coffee. And then I add cream, sweetened cream. And that's like I got the recipe as a Mabon thing, but I do it whenever I'm feeling particularly witchy in the morning.
I really like making my own pumpkin spice mix, even though it like involves standing with a mortar and pestle and like pounding the bejesus out of clove.
Yeah.
But I like adding just a little bit of red pepper to mine.
Sure.
Because in some cases, spice is a thing all on its own, and in some cases, it's like salt, and you don't realize you're tasting it, but you're tasting everything else better. And when it's like literally for my jar, why is it ketchup in my jar? For this much, I have like half of a quarter teaspoon of pounded or blended up red pepper flakes.
Oh, okay. That's really an interest. I may try that sometime. Have a good day, Tawny.
Bye.
The idea of chocolate tea makes me shudder. Yeah. Technically, we are at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining me, Spence. Your wisdom is regarding tea and spices in your kitchen is beyond mine. If you liked this video at any point, please hit the like button. If you would like to see us talking about invoking gods and animals and all of those things, maybe even meditations, please hit subscribe, maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that YouTube notifies you if I go live, and we will catch you guys on the flip side.